Hello, friends. Welcome to Magic with Melly. This is Melly. You guys are magical. We are all magical. And right now we're sharing space. So this is Magic with Melly. Hi. You guys, I think there's something coming in. Something hot, spicy, sexual, attractive, awesome, amazing, romantic, intimate, detailed. It surely feels good, that's for sure. And it's what you manifested. Someone spoke it, someone said it, someone thought it, and then it just happened. Maybe you made a move and it was kind of like you didn't know if it would work or not, like if the light would turn on, or if there would be something ignited, or like you didn't know when your new beginning was gonna come. You felt like you were in the middle, or like a lot of you just got out of something, or you just got into something, wherever you are in that journey. But this is sort of a really passionate reading is what I'm getting. The more we do, the more we can do. So like, I think you guys are learning about somebody, maybe learning somebody's body, understanding like parts of who they are, their family history, who they've dated, I guess, but like the context, I guess, like you do need to know the backstory, but not completely, I suppose, like the necessary details and not the negative details. Like just choose the context between the two words that start with N. You know, negative versus the other thing. We're gonna get into cards. So we have the more we can do, the more we do, the more we can do. I think that's just about proving something to somebody, to yourself. Maybe doing more in the workspace, doing more in perhaps doing more in the home space, or in the workspace, or even in bed, learning stuff about that. There's all sorts of energies happening here surrounding that. Decide to go for it. I'm just definitely diving into the reading here. The back of the deck of this said choose love, guys. You have choice, make yours with love. So essentially I'm going to shuffle all of these cards live for you. I think there's a lot to handle here, or a lot to understand. My crown is itching, so you guys have a lot on your mind. You need to release, get out of your mind, decide to go for it. Once you think it, do it. Don't just continue to sit there. Sometimes I have this issue. That's why it feels really productive to do a hobby that allows you to sit for long periods of time. Some people really like to watch TV. Some people really like to knit or crochet. Some people really like to paint. Some people, even if I didn't list it, there's a craft that you do. I'm hearing wood burning. I'm hearing carving and pottery. I'm hearing like fine china, like someone's really fine. Maybe someone's Chinese. Well, I'm Chinese, so that's one. If that is a factoid. And so we can connect on being the same and different. You guys are probably foreign or not foreign of some sort, or a mix. Choose love. You always have choice. Make yours with love. You have that choice to love or hate. Some people, they're not in practice. They're used to being in practice of the other direction, if you get what I mean. So let's get into clearing the space and actually getting into the reading. If you resonated, this is for you. If not, then it's not for you. But we are just going to get into it. We trust that my readings are for the highest good, and that we banish away any spirits that don't have our good intentions at heart, that anything that we're channeling is to understand it and be able to figure out what to do for ourselves surrounding it that would be for our highest good, jogging my intuition and the collectives to continue on with our story. So I have these two tarots out. What does the collective need to know at this time for their highest good on behalf of their situations right now? The collective is dealing with some things, and we need to get to the bottom of things, perhaps, maybe picking our person or picking our next phase, our next job, our next fashion, like style. Like maybe you guys are into style and you guys are like creating clothes or creating outfits. If you don't actually make the clothes, then you are like fashionable, perhaps. I'm getting that some of you are just creative in general, no matter what you apply it to. That's amazing. It's just a matter of picking something or picking somebody. So we have 2 of Wands. I'm getting that it's reversed there. So you guys don't realize what's out there. You guys haven't seen what's out there for you. What can be for you out there. You've only seen what's bad for you so far. You get really in your feelings. Maybe you don't have much control of certain feelings, or because now we have the Magician. It's repeating here, and there's a 10 of Swords reverse. So I think you guys are manifesting now what you want because you have made room for it. You guys have turned around from people who betrayed you or lied to you, cheated on you, just didn't use good means. They were bad. They had negative intentions towards you, and you sensed that. And so when you did sense that and you actually took action and placed boundaries around that, you realize you're feeling a lot more free. You have more space, you have more openness. I think that you don't have as much fear. Maybe some of you got rid of like all the extra people in a connection. Maybe you got rid of just extra baggage, just extra stuff that you don't need. Maybe you were purging with all sorts of energies here of just like you guys are like, I know I don't want this. I don't want to manifest clutter. I don't want to manifest a mess. I don't want to manifest chaos. I need to protect my energy. You guys understand this or will be understanding this. This is a reminder from Spirit or messages like of advice that you may need at this time. Because now we have an 8 of Cups reverse. guys, it's really like you guys don't know what to pick. You guys need more information on stuff. You guys are introverts, perhaps. The Hermit. You guys are a light. And it's really easy to just blow you out if you're a flame like this. But then maybe you can light the spark, or for some, I'm hearing with this, whatever you released someone who is gaslighting you or manipulating you. And on the outside, I don't know, they seem really convincing or persuasive that they are some way, but it's because they are really, like, it's just they're in really good practice of, like, maybe you dealt with an illusionist or someone who was an actor or really like to joke around or play around, but it's like you need to kind of notice the details, the finer details. I guess that's where that fine china and that word fine repeats again, is like the finer details of things. Like really tune into the smaller details because they do matter. And it's like, does that make you feel good or bad? And you know, like actually reveal it. Like be honest to yourself, be honest with the other connection, and like say the piece. Queen of Pentacles, Ten of Cups reverse. I think that there has been a separation here because the title does say too hot to handle. So it's like someone seems too good to be true, and that affirmation is ending because you want your family experience, right? So it's like you have to believe it's true. Eight of Cups again, and it's reversed. So it's like you're tired of being on this journey. You've been on this journey for long enough. This card, this Five of Cups, he looks like he turned around, but all that is turned back is his neck. But in the other case, he was facing the other way and his head was down. So it's like his head is up and it only looks like his neck is turned over, right? Because it looks like he's facing us now. And so I think that the perspective has shifted here. I think some of us are deciding about moving on, because I'm getting the words move on over and over and over again. So it's like you guys are not putting an end to something that needs to be put to an end, because you guys you've been sticking with it for so long, I'm hearing. But it's like they may be holding you back, or you may be holding yourself back from something. King of Swords, because I'm hearing control again. Five of Wands. I'm hearing control. Someone feels stuck and they can't reach they can't reach. I don't know, I keep hearing they can't reach. Maybe like the levels, you feel like you can't reach new levels or something. Like you feel like maybe you want to reach out to somebody, but you feel like they're out of their league. Let's see what's up with that. We have communication. I think all you need to do is say something to get your answers if you're dealing with a person, or you need to actually apply for the job or the role that you're looking at. Spiritual career reverse, effort reverse. So I think maybe you guys are, what's this for the collective? So I think this is kind of a message to remind the collective that spirituality doesn't have to be for everyone around you. Because spiritual career is kind of like spirit saying, like, it's not for everyone, and that it's like a chosen thing, and it's sort of like the spiritual path, when you, like, it's an individual thing, not a shared thing, if that makes sense. That speaking on your beliefs and that and your religious and spiritual beliefs may be crossing a boundary with somebody, and that you could be making an effort to help somebody, if that makes sense, because maybe you are spiritual but maybe someone else isn't spiritual. So spiritual talk 24/7 isn't like necessarily loving for some people because they didn't really want it. Like maybe it's just like you need to take a break from thinking you need to help people, if that makes sense. Like maybe you need to communicate to yourself or to the maybe don't communicate to the person that, like, the person needs to figure that out on their own. Sometimes it's not easy to hear it. So like you being the one to tell it isn't always, like, it's loving, yes, because they need to know, but like how they react isn't always going to be what you expect. Individuality, because they need to do it on their own. They need to come to terms on their own. As much as you know it, you maybe know it sooner or quicker, and so you're realizing, like, don't have this it be in your connection, because it is just like it's not for that. Like, that's like your romantic connection is not your spiritual, it's not your like job either. It's not your spiritual, it's not always going to be a spiritual lesson. It's just like calm down from that and just love, like calm down from thinking everything's a lesson and everything's something and something. I know I've been channeling that, and it's like, like some individuals did need to learn a lesson and surrender. But the other part of it is like releasing. It's just releasing, right? Like knowing and releasing, and knowing and receiving. So those are two R words that might be important to balance. Like you need to release to receive. And I had another one earlier that started with the ends. It was like, I can't remember. I'm drawing a blank because it was in the past. But we have back of the deck environment. So these numbers 44, 33, and 11. Those are awesome numbers to see because 3s and 4s. And I love that you guys are, maybe you guys are environment junkies. You guys are really interested on how to make the environment a better place. Or like like the world or your surroundings a better place. You guys are just real sweethearts. I think it's really important to say how you feel more often towards your sweet peoples. Like, at least in the good fashion. Like, don't say anything that would be mean or rude. Obviously, if you have something mean or rude to say, you yourself are the problem, not the person you're talking about. But that's a message you guys may be needing right now. That you can choose to be around certain people less who don't pay attention to you or don't give you, like, they don't talk to you. You can remove them. You could give yourself space from them. Literally cut the cord or close the door, or like move locations, going to a different bedroom, going to a different space, leaving the house, going out of the house to go do stuff. Some of you need to go outside more. Some of you need to go and run your errands. Some of you, I'm hearing, need to get some more things in order. And that's not really an excuse. That's not really an excuse from stopping. I guess, like, for stopping, I guess you have, like, I think you guys need to build more reasons for stopping than just the initial ones that come to mind. Like, are you stopping because someone just inserted that into your mind, or are you stopping because you have put some thought to it for some time. Past, you were frightened, you are emotionally stronger and brave. You must have structure and consistency in order to function wise. So some of you are dealing with a situation in which there's been so much control. Everything's been a certain way for so long, and you don't know any different. But you want something, and you know it exists. Believe what you want already exists, and you know you have to trust that it's on its way to you to handle. I think you guys need to understand that the reason why you experienced it is because it was mutual. It's because you were meant to, because you were, like, whatever, like, I think some of you are easily influenced, perhaps. Ego death, complete loss of subjective self-identity. What you are at this moment is what you know from past experiences. I am unique right here. I have a feeling you guys need to understand something about this self-identity, like, and like persuasion, perhaps. Like, we had that reversed magician. I feel like there's like opposing energy here. Like maybe the situation got too dramatic. Like there were a lot of people involved that shouldn't have been involved. They placed themselves, and then it just wasn't like their bad intentions it delayed it. It didn't. I'm saying maybe that's what happened, is that the situation needed to cool off, and like maybe someone has anger issues, maybe someone has issues with their like emotions, and that's where ego death is kind of occurring, because your emotional / energetic body is your spirit, like your mind, body, spirit. And so you're kind of tapping into, instead of being very materialistic and egotistical, being more appreciative of what you have, and being like, I am enough, and what I have around me is enough. Everything that is going on is enough. Everything is as it should be. Maybe that's what you need to affirm, that in order to love on the situation. And even if the situation is not what you want or expect, or you want better out of it, you still have to accept right now in order to change for the better for the future, or change in general, or be ready for it, I suppose. Like the like that way, looking backwards, you don't have to be afraid or regretful in any way, because you did everything that you could right at the time that you could. If that makes sense. Like we had that card earlier that was like, just do it, or decide to just go for it. So it's like no regrets, like just do things right away. That way you don't feel bad later that you didn't do it. Unwillingness to communicate will not make the situation better. So some of you needed to hear that. Life's a party. The Sweet Pea Elves are here to make sure you don't miss any life special moments. That's beautiful for you guys. So you guys are just gonna be having a fun time with your soul family. Dance in the puddles, learn to smile in spite of the rain. I think that's beautiful energy, because you guys are feeling just releasing negative energy towards your person or towards the situation. Love is a sunbeam. Love radiates, and the more it does, the stronger it becomes. Fly with the fairies. Today is a brand new chance for you to feel bright and eager about life. Fairy serenade, sing with us. Let it be a melody that lifts up your day and makes you smile. So some of you are really resonating with fairies or frogs, maybe elves, or the Princess and the Pea. like that fairy tale. Maybe you're a sun sign or been having dreams, happy dreams. Dreams take you to special places that you can visit during the day. So realize that your subconscious is speaking to you when you dream. Just be more aware of what it may be telling you. Or maybe warning you about. Foretelling. Something good or bad could happen. I think a surprise is happening depending on karma. What you've done in the past is going to affect you in the future. Discernment, patience. I think hard work will be rewarded with wealth. Patience. Okay, this wanted to flip. Abundance, recognition. So it's just like some of you are being rewarded and recognized, and you're like, dang, that's hot, or like, dang, that's attractive. And it's like being spontaneous is also that energy. So maybe reciprocate love. I think that's how you'll show them, is like maybe taking them out spontaneously, doing something spontaneously out of the blue. And I think it's so cool that we call it out of the blue, because it's like, and that this love card is blue, and that this love card is also a mermaid, and it's a lot of blues. I think and this card was communication. I think a lot of just talking is happening. Maybe you guys are going to be inner knowing. You guys are going to just know it when you experience it with this person. You're just you're turning away from someone you know is not your person, because there is this inner knowing there. But what I was going to get at is that maybe someone's trying to get at you. Maybe someone is going to start talking a lot towards you. And they could be talking to you in many types of ways. And I mean that they could be serious, they could be flirty, they could be sexual, they could be platonic, they could be silly, and they could be all kinds of things. So just be ready to turn on and or turn away accordingly, like because we have that decisions card. That's so cool that it came out when I was telling you the this or that. So it's like you are going to just know what to do for yourself, because I know that turn away is like really vague. So just keep in mind this is a general reading. If you need a personal, let me know. But we have awareness. You guys are aware that you shifted, so lots of things are shifting, and you need to ask for help and relax into your situations. This is what the mermaids are saying. They're singing. You guys are patient, I think, because you have to be. When something's hot, you literally have to wait for it to cool down. Like, you know, like maybe you want to eat or eat it, if you know what I'm talking about. So you have to maybe literally test the waters. Juicy, I eat that lunch. If you know that song. Setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible. So I think you guys need to just take action more and just see what happens. The worst that can happen is that it doesn't happen the way you expect it, and it's just like okay, sure, then just roll with it. You know, like you have to be flexible when failure occurs, surrounding expectation. That way you can expand. Lots of E's and F's in that phrase. So some of you may like to be fancy with your words. Setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible. So some of you have goals to be a writer, I'm getting. Once you control your mind, you can conquer your body. Some of you want to have better fitness, like just better diet, better control, like just take better care of your body. Cleanliness, not letting anything fester, work out because you love your body, not because you hate it. Some of you hate your body and want to change it, but the thing is you have to love your body. You have to want to take care of it and nurture it, and that's how a regular gym routine kind of decides to stick. All it takes is all you got. Either I will find a way or I will make one. So those are affirmations you guys may be needing at this time. What's the messages here for the collective? Miracles and blessings. Everything has its gift. So there's like little tiny, not even tiny, just everyone has these experiences on a daily of just like some sort of placement that matters, a placement that like where you were successful, where a miracle, a blessing, like if it were a different way, it would be awful. So the fact that your day or that like life, that some, you know, like that existence, that anything was neutral is a good thing. And that romance, lavish the one you love with personal attention and affection. I was just visualizing that chart. It was like a chart where it was like you have to be down here in order to understand like the hard work to get up here. Like way up, you know, on the hill. You have to start from the bottom to get to the top. And I think that's this energy here with existence. Some of you have had such a bad or sorry existence. Went from 0 and then now you guys are going to 100. Maybe you guys are living in an environment where it's been 100 degrees or 100. You know, the number ones and zeros could be significant. So you could be seeing 1111 or 1010 or 111000. Of course, we just saw beginnings and endings earlier in the reading. So I think you guys are just ready for this with the romance. Lavish the one you love with personal attention and affection. You guys are, romance is dramatic. That's why it's called a drama. That's why romance, you have to kind of be over the top in order to be seen or have attention. Love who you are. Make it a nicer or better context though, because any attention is not necessarily the right attention, if that makes sense. Some of you have received bad attention. Actions speak loudly. Love who you are. The only thing that is real is love, spiritual connection, and physical touch. So you guys are just re-experiencing one another, perhaps. Or, because I'm getting some of you, this is past life experience. Some of you, this is like reconnecting with someone you have connected with before, because we had that separation energy. So it's like sometimes the separation is needed and then you can come back together, like a reunion. But some of you, if that's not what you want, you're realizing that the only thing, like the biggest, most authentic thing is the love you have for yourself. Like you know how much that is. Like you know exactly how much that is because it's within you. Trying to determine that within someone else is hard, and so always just tap back into who you are, love who you are, be who you are, express who you are. Actions speak loudly, so when you are who you are and someone responds negatively around that, just notice that maybe you guys are going to be experiencing more physical touch. You know, just it's going to be fun. Be authentic. Oh, we were just talking about being authentic. Be real and true to who you are and how you feel. demonstrate love, find out what is important to those you love, and act on it. I think that's awesome. The acts of kindness could be a love language where you just have to do what they want you to do, and that's just how it is. Relationship patterns, it takes strength to recognize the need for change, and sometimes it looks like servantry in extreme cases. If there's like not good, if there's like something not good standing, and it's like wonky about whether or not you want to do the act, if that makes sense. Like, because acts of that's a love language, so if you're not feeling very loved or connected there, you may not want to do certain things. And so it's like relationship patterns, it takes strength to recognize the need for change. Something has to change. So being spontaneous could be important. Picking up errands or tasks could be significant. It could just be being more communicative around the tasks that you are doing. It could be being more communicative in general. I already know what giving up feels like. I want to see what happens if I don't. So that's a giant message here. And I think that's the most amazing message to end on. So thank you for connecting with this reading. I'm really hopeful. Just with ending here, I really love channeling that energy of not giving up, because you shouldn't. If something is that important to you, having patience around it will be worth your while. Of course, you didn't go through all the work to cook your food and it's really hot, you can't handle it. You're going to wait to eat it because someone's got to eat, right? So it's like, you guys are just gonna go for it and not give up and kind of tap more into the right thing. Some of you have known the right thing to do for some time and have been afraid of being authentic. And so you guys are kind of tapping into resources as to how to feel more safe, or how to find someone who would be safe for you, and that you would really, to answer that for you guys right here, right now, before the ending of the reading, if it's about somebody else, you will find the person for you doing something that you love. It's not going to just be just some silly thing. You're already going to be walking like a bridge of incidents, if that makes sense. If you're into the 369 project, you're already going to be like that spontaneous act of just doing what you want will then domino effect another thing that you had been like maybe subconsciously or like directly asked for. Like, oh, I want, like, you know, this, more of this in my life. Or like, because some of you, it's not a matter of you are lacking, but that you want more. I think that some of you are just, you guys are creating abundance. You guys are creating a better place. So of course, I think that there's a standard you guys are meeting, and you guys are expecting that standard on another. And so if someone's not meeting that standard, like that bar is there, right? So they didn't meet it, they didn't pass. And so just give the time and patience, right? That too hot to handle, it's you or the other person or whoever it is, but it's like, don't give up. And energetically, like, don't, maybe some of you choose to move on, some of you choose to stay, and it's like, don't just sit around, like, still make productivity or success within your day, but you can reframe it. You can reframe whatever your success is, because some people, like, literally do not actually take time off or time for themselves. and they need to be in more regular practice of this. And it's like this don't give up is like, I think it's like a unique lesson on how not to burn out, because that too hot to handle is like, burning out is a thing that you can do if you do too much or even do too little. Right? Like, it's just like if you don't rub the stick against it faster, like, it's like you can't ignite a flame if we're thinking like Stone Age kind of stuff with like starting a fire. It's like we have improved the process over time, and now we have lighters that create flame. And I think you need to just recognize that time needs to occur, like pass, and time doesn't wait on anybody. Like, you can't really get it back. You can relive an experience in your memories, but you can't relive it like in your physical body. And so what you do is really important on a daily basis. And I think productivity is going to be important here, but also knowing when to take breaks surrounding your productivity. Maybe setting timers is going to be really relevant for you guys, just to keep you guys on track and understand when to shift tasks and understand when to turn on the task and turn off the task, when to bring it around others, and when to keep it to yourself. And even when you're keeping it to yourself, you can turn that on and off. Now, you don't have to be on all the time. You can shut down and rest, and that is okay, where you just sit around and all you do is watch TV, or all you do is whatever you love. Some of you, the work is more dedicated and the work is more fun. It's purposeful in different ways. Like I think the context of like someone is interested in it because they're interested in it, to read more and understand more and practice in it. So so this understanding, I think, is just like that can occur with yourself and that can occur with another person. Is that like everyone has their similarities and differences of like, you don't have to like you don't have to be on someone all the time as well. Too hot to handle. I think this has to do with like resonance and repelling, like knowing what you don't like and knowing what you do like, and being closer or further away. We have this Five of Swords and the Hermit now that I'm noticing here at the end of this reading, and it's like you guys are really just keeping it together by being independent, being on your own, and then choosing your company wisely, choosing to create instead of causing problems. I'm getting that song Mo Money, Mo Problems, but Notorious B.I.G. or the TV show Fresh Off the Boat could be significant for you. Or maybe you guys are interested in plants. I'm getting you guys have been just tapping into all sorts of content. Like it could be articles related to a new idea, looking up new words, looking up, there's like unique language for every category of things. So it's like, I think maybe you have to put a label, or there's going to be someone putting a label on things, or maybe you guys are going to be reading labels if you're going to be dieting, or maybe with the labeling, you're releasing having a label on yourself and just being who you are without forming to that label. But it's like, really, just don't give up towards this journey. I think some of you need to love yourself more in the situation. Hug yourself, treat yourself to something nice, treat yourself to a fun time, and it doesn't have to be costly. It doesn't have to be costly. It could be a dollar store find. It could be something you already have that you're rediscovering, because it's been, of course, back to that, it's been some time. So that, like, too hot to handle, maybe you needed to cool off. Get rid of that ego. Figure out what your true placements are with certain projects or certain people. And then when you don't give up, like, it's just gonna domino effect more in the direction you're already going towards. So just be alongside it, like, be in alignment with it. Don't be underneath it. Visually, you can be in control of it. You could be the one that kicks the first domino over, and you could be maybe these are giant dominoes and now they've created stairs. And then that's like that, your path you're walking down. You're walking down a path to success. If you just don't give up, if you just choose that corrective action, that lesson learning, like, everything doesn't have to be so hard. And that you could just take it more easy on yourself and literally be more gentle. Like, maybe some of you really enjoy sports and have been really rough on your body, so you guys are being more generous or gentle with your body. Generous meaning, like, maybe you're buying more comfortable clothes, or again, fashionable clothes. Some of you have just, like, protected, like, maybe there's this rebalance from overprotection to just normal protection. Or someone from not caring enough to start, like, there's shifts going on, and for the good. And so just recognize if this is something that you want or if it's not. If you do have something that you want going on, don't give up. Know when to say yes, know when to say no. But I think be in practice of saying yes to what you want. Being honest surrounding what you want and being like, yes, I will do that. I will do that and hold myself accountable. Maybe you need to document your process, or maybe some photos are being taken. Too hot to handle. I think someone's really attractive, so it's like lots of photos. Maybe might be exchanged. Someone might be a model or a photographer. Someone could be in the public eye. So it's like serving. I think you guys are in servitude. So I think it's just like you owe it not only to yourself but others, but it's like your purpose. So you have to try your best not to, like, burn, like, everything down. Like, there's safety precautions, maybe like labels. You have to make sure you read the label. For example, in college, in university, I remember being a first year and a second year, and the fire alarms that would occur because someone didn't know how to cook and they had left their house. Like, they left the nest for the first time and they didn't know how to cook before then. And they didn't have a meal plan. And so they used the kitchen and they put noodles in the microwave, or they did something with it and it burned. It caused a big, like, it was just like, it doesn't happen every cup of noodle, but it happens in that one microwave with that one setting and that one cup of noodle with that one label. And so some, you have to really know what is supposed to go together and what doesn't go together. And so it's like, you have to really know what doesn't go together in order for smooth operations, so you know what to avoid. And so, like, if you know someone's really hot, it's going to be a lot to handle. Like, you're going to have to get over a lot of things, a lot of people being attracted to your person or attracted to you. And there's going to be a lot of, like, messes to clean up. Because, of course, if you touch something that's hot and you react and you go like this and, like, the pot spills the hot water everywhere, of course, it's going to burn. It's going to hurt. You're going to have to clean up all the water. Or all the food, or all the, I'm talking about cooking because maybe some of you are chefs or like to cook or have been getting in the habit of cooking more. Anyway, whatever it is that you're doing that's a shift or in a good direction, keep doing it. Because some of you have started stuff too often and stopped. So I think you guys are just returning to stuff and not stopping. Or maybe you're just starting something and making sure it never stops. Because some things are meant for a lifetime. Some things are meant to just be for a season or a reason. And you have to kind of navigate those three. Well, anyway, that was the reading totally. Thank you so much, and goodbye.